I'm back to another album review. Today's review is on Proof of Life by Scott Stapp. This is the second solo album from Scott, and it's a follow-up to his first solo album, which came out 8 years earlier. In my previous review, I mentioned that Creed split up again in 2012. The following year was when Scott released his second solo album that you see here. It was produced by Howard Benson, who had produced Creed's album Full Circle back in 2009. He was also on the keyboard in the studio. The mixing was done by Lord-Alge, who had received help from Nick Carpin. Ted Jensen was responsible for the mastering. The album was released on November 5th, 2013 on Wind Up Records. This was also among the last albums released on Wind Up Records because the label has been defunct since 2016. Anyways, Paul Bushnell played bass on every song, though various other musicians played on the songs. That being said, let's talk about the songs. The intro to this album is Slow Suicide, which was released as a single on October 8th, 2013. The song is not a misnomer because Scott was addicted to drugs and alcohol, which were slowly killing him. Thankfully, he managed to get clean and is still alive and well as of the making of this video. The song did receive a music video, and there's a link in the description. The next track is Who I Am. This track features Phil X on guitar and Kenny Aronoff on drums, and both these guys performed on the previous track. After that is Proof of Life, which is the title track in case it wasn't obvious enough. It was also released as a single on January 4th, 2015. The song and the rest all feature Tim Pierce as a guitarist. It's also the first of 4 songs on this album to have Josh Freese on drums. Next up is New Day Coming. Isaac Carpenter was on drums for this track. Up next is Only One, which was released as a single on February 13th, 2015. This is also the second and final song on this album to have Isaac on drums. We followed up with Breakout, which was released as a single on October 25th, 2014. Fun fact, one of the people who helped write the song was Mitch Allen, the frontman for SR-71. The song has the distinction of being the only one on this album to feature John Paul Nishawat on guitar. It's also the second album and the second song of this album to feature Josh Freese. That's followed up by Hit Me More. Kenny and Phil both performed on the song. It's also my favorite song on this album, and my dad sometimes plays it on his radio show. What comes next is Jesus Was a Rock Star. This is the third track on the album that Josh performed on. What comes after that is What Would Love Do. This is the fourth and final song on this album to feature Josh. As always, he absolutely knocked it out of the park with his drumming. The second to last track is Crash, which is also the second to last song that Phil and Kenny performed on. As Scott Stevens even provided additional guitar and backing vocals in addition to co-writing the song. The outro for this album is Dying to Live, which was released as a single on June 5th, 2014. This is also the final song of the album to feature Tim, Kenny, and Phil. One thing I need to mention is that the Best Buy version has 2 bonus tracks, the first of which is Beautiful Cage. The second bonus track is Real Love. As you can see, my copy does have both those bonus tracks, because this is the Best Buy version. And my dad has the regular version of this album, and it was one of the gifts I gave him for Christmas last year. I couldn't find any information on how this album performed commercially. However, it seems to have been received better than its predecessor. The Christian media companies really liked it, but you even have some non-Christian companies such as Arcadia, Ultimate Guitar and Iowa State Daily giving it positive reviews. It's just that HM and Indie Vision Music didn't like it. Honestly, those dumbasses just don't get it. Now for my thoughts. I really enjoyed this album. In many ways, it's superior to its predecessor. It also had more personnel involved. Another thing I should mention is that it's also heavier than its predecessor thanks to our good friend Howard Benson. This wouldn't be the last time Howard would work with Scott, because they would work together again on Art of Anarchy's second album. After leaving Art of Anarchy, Scott would once again go solo. More on that in the next episode. Overall, I highly recommend this album, especially the Best Buy version. Now's the part where I question you. Have you listened to Proof of Life? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? If you have this album, which version do you have? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.